Hello and welcome to Battle of the Port Congo Bongo, a game from Sega that started life in the arcades way back in 1983. In Congo Bongo, you take the role of a red-nosed safari explorer attempting to catch an ape named Bongo, who set fire to the explorer's tent. The goal in each of the 4 screens is to move from the lower left corner to the location of the ape on the right or upper right. He must climb ledges, jump over water and gaps in the terrain, and avoid animal attackers. There are 4 stages in total. In the first stage, the hunter must avoid coconuts thrown down by Bongo while climbing a series of cliffs to reach the ape, while at the same time shaking off 3 monkeys that will try to lower the hunter off the mountain. In the second stage, the hunter must cross a swamp platform by riding on the backs of diving and swimming hippopotamuses and avoiding poisonous snakes and scorpions. The third stage requires the hunter to cross a plain and crouching into holes to evade the hordes of charging rhinoceroses, while climbing up a large flight of stairs to proceed to the next area. In the fourth stage and final stage, the hunter crosses a second swamp that with lily pads, fish and hippos to reach a gate of charging rhinos that are blocking the entrance to Bongo in a hot tub. The game repeats from the first level with increased difficulty once you complete the 4th stage. The first port of Congo Bongo we're going to take a look at is for the Apple II. First impressions are good as far as the background graphics are concerned. They do give us a good approximation of the arcade's background. It is a shame that all the sprites are white though. Sometimes it's tricky to make out what's what, as everything just blends into each other. Sadly, this port isn't much fun to play. The diagonal controls aren't really a problem as you do become accustomed to them. The problem here is the collision detection. Just take a look at this jump right here. See that? I was 100% on that platform, yet the game says I missed it. This happens more often than I'm willing to accept. Such a shame, as this could have been a great port. Wow, this is mighty ambitious. Congo Bongo on the Atari 2600. I'm amazed at how well this has been pulled off on such limited hardware. Sure, it looks buggered all like the arcade, but you can tell what it's meant to be. I love the way the developer has tried to emulate the water effect on this stage and the next. Quite impressive. Sadly, the perspective is really tough to judge, or at least at first it is. You do become more accustomed to it the more you play. Also, I wonder if all 4 stages are present. I'm not sure because I couldn't get past the second stage, which is actually the 4th stage in the arcade version. Somehow I doubt this has all the arcade stages. How come every Atari 5200 game I play sucks balls compared to its 2600 little brother? Honestly, it's true. The 5200 versions mostly look better, but they all play like crap. This is a perfect example. Just take a look at the watermelons, or green kissing lips as they look like. Just take a look at the movement. Does it remind you of anything? Yeah, that's right. old LCD games. It also has very questionable collision detection like those games do. ColecoVision time, the most powerful console of its day, and it's clear to see why. This is the closest we've come to the arcade game yet in terms of looks and playability. Yep, this is a great port of Congo Bongo. It's just a shame it does seem to run a little too fast, but at least it contains 3 of the arcade's 4 stages. Commodore 64 time with a pretty nice looking version, but like so many other ports, it only contains 2 stages that just repeat on a loop. The interaction with the background is rather odd with this port. When walking onto stage areas via the side direction, the character just glides onto the platforms. This is so odd. Only when approaching a climb from the front does the character actually show a climbing motion. Congo Bongo also made it onto IBM compatible PCs of the day, and while it may not look very colourful, it does look reasonably good. We even have some reasonable sound. Sadly, the game is a little off in terms of playability. I don't know what it is, but in this version compared to the arcade, the perspective is more difficult to judge. Actually, the arcade version was very easy to know where you were going, but this one not so much. It's as if the game grid doesn't line up correctly with the graphics. Also, at times, the jump stops working unless you take a step back and then do a running jump. The Intellivision, the poor man's ColecoVision. Yet it still manages to pull off an arcade accurate playing port than the Commodore 64 and a few other ports as well. As to be expected, the Intellivision version wasn't going to look amazing, but what is here is serviceable. Sadly, this is yet another port with only 2 stages that loop over and over. MSX time with yet another bloody awful port. I don't think the developers of this one had actually ever played the arcade game. Your character just glides over the play area with little interaction, just like the C64 version. He also gets stuck and dies for no reason at times. The collision detection is random at best, making this a challenge in rage control rather than game playing skills. Avoid. This is the Sega SG-1000 port, and what an odd version it is. Rather than even attempting the arcade's 3D perspective, we get a full-on 2D platformer for the first stage and an overhead walking stage for the second. And yes, this is yet another port with only 2 stages. What I also find funny is that the coconuts, or whatever they are on stage 1, don't actually kill you, they just kind of stun you. An interesting version, but sadly not worth playing. The Texas Instruments 99/4A port, as you can see, looks rather nice. But again, like so many, it plays like crap. This version is especially screwed up as the controls are just broken. No matter which direction you move in, it feels like you are constantly being pushed in the opposite direction. This leads to you having to constantly fight the controls just to walk straight. Oh, and another port with only 2 stages. Me, this has got to be the worst version yet. Congo Bongo on the Commodore VIC-20 is unplayable. Sure, I'm making it look easy here, but you have no idea how many times it took me to complete the first stage. The controls are a mess. The collision detection is all over the place, and yes, you guessed it, only 2 bloody stages. And let's take a look at all those versions of Congo Bongo running side by side.